In this episode, we're going to talk about some mysterious stelae discovered at the Agadir Mosque in Tlemcen. Some of them are still visible today, embedded in the walls of the minaret. But where did they really come from? What if these stones originated from the ancient cemetery of Pomaria, the former Roman town? That raises another question. Where exactly was that cemetery located? Let's go back for a moment to the heart of the Roman Republic. 50 years after its founding, in 509 before Jesus Christ, the Roman people demanded that their laws be written down. The result was the Law of the 12 Tables. These laws remained in force well into the Roman Empire, which began in 27 before Jesus Christ after a period of reconciliation, and lasted until the empire's fall in 476 after Jesus Christ. One table in particular interests us, Table 10, which deals with sacred law. It strictly prohibited any burial or cremation within the sacred boundary of the city, known as the Pomarium. Why? For sanitary reasons, of course, but also because death was considered a source of ritual impurity. The relatives of the deceased had to undergo purification to be reintegrated into society. The home of the dead was fumigated with burning sulfur, then thoroughly washed with water. So that brings us back to Pomaria. Where did the city walls end? And in what direction lay the cemetery? In 1889, the historian Joseph Canal tried to answer that question. On page 323 of his article, he writes that the rammed earth walls built by the Muslims around Agadir rested in several places on older Roman stone fortifications. Photographs from the archives of the Department of the Somme, in Picardy, France, taken by Edmond Dutoit, an inspector of monuments in Tlemcen at the end of the 19th century, confirm this. You can clearly see Roman stone bases beneath the Pi's walls. And there's more. Between 1973 and 1980, Algerian archaeologists Saïd Damani and Abderrahman Khalifa excavated the Agadir Mosque. They produced a complete map of the ancient city, showing its walls and gates, based on Canal's reconstruction. Thanks to their work, we now have a clearer picture of Pomaria's layout. So where was the cemetery? Canal notes on page 294 of the same article. Wherever you dig in Bois de Boulogne, you find stones with Latin inscriptions. The Bois de Boulogne lies southeast of Agadir. That's where we still find the tombs of the Sultana, Sidi Yacouba Tefrisi, and Sidi Wahab Ben El Munebi. Other stelae were uncovered to the southwest during construction work on the railway station. And here's a key piece of the puzzle. At that time, the Mechkana River flowed right through the Bois de Boulogne. All evidence suggests that the Roman cemetery of Pomaria once stood along its banks, right where the road split, heading south toward Elubad, east toward Lurit. This is most likely the origin of the stelae now embedded in the mosque walls. Brings us to the end of today's episode. If you have any clues, stories, or memories connected to these places, feel free to share them in the comments. In our next episode, we'll explore the personal stories carved into those inscriptions. Who were the people named on these stones? What was life like here, in Pomaria, over 1,800 years ago?